Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me on today's live webinar. Today we're talking about balancing human expertise and AI, the rise of the digital knowledge worker in business operations. Really appreciate all of you taking the time to join live. Thanks, everyone. So my name is Naomi Caduella, head of Kavi Labs at Kavi Global, a leading data analytics and AI firm. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat and chime in with your experiences along the way. We'll be monitoring the chat, and I'm going to take Q&A at the end of the session. I have about 20 minutes of talk track planned, and then I really look forward to all of your questions and the discussion at the end. And today I'm really excited to share with you all more about one of our latest trademarked concepts, and that is the digital knowledge worker. So this concept has been instrumental in driving innovation, enabling huge productivity and business benefits through optimal integration of human expertise and AI. So I'm really excited to share this all with you today because this is really shaping the future of work. And as each of you are architecting the roadmaps of digital transformation journeys for your enterprise, this is relevant for you. So let's dive in. Now that we're acquainted, let's talk about today's agenda. First, we'll do a quick recap of cross-industry enterprise needs and drill into how this is driving the adoption of many new technologies, including this concept, the digital knowledge worker. Next, we'll explore the concept of the digital knowledge worker. What is it? How is it benefiting modern business operations? And within that framework, we'll discuss how it's driving the business and digital transformation and how these digital knowledge workers are reshaping organizational processes to drive that digital transformation. We're going to highlight the business value that they bring, the increased efficiency and cost savings. We're going to look at the investment required to implement these digital knowledge workers and the expected return that we'll be able to bring through life and see this ROI and business value in action through 5 success stories of organizations who have successfully integrated these digital knowledge workers already. And finally, we'll wrap up with some practical steps on how you can begin your digital knowledge worker journey and start transforming your business operations. First, review the 3 critical areas that enterprises need to be focusing on to thrive in today's competitive market. First, we need to improve design and quality. In today's market, having high quality products and services is critical. It's not only going to enhance the customer satisfaction, but helps in keeping that strong brand reputation. Next, many organizations, as we know, are currently combating the labor shortage, especially in healthcare, manufacturing. These industries are facing a shortage of skilled labor, which is hindering their growth. And we're going to discuss how digital knowledge workers are going to help bridge this gap to ensure that your enterprise has the workforce, both human and digital, that it needs to succeed. Third, we'll look at reducing costs. As we know, cost reduction is a constant goal for any enterprise. So we're going to look at various methods on how we streamline the operations, reduce the waste, and implement cost-effective practices without compromising on quality and, as we know, security as well, as there has been a lot in the talk about the news lately with the cyber attacks. Now, let's get into how we address these needs through business transformation powered by the digital knowledge worker. So here we're exploring how we're transitioning from the traditional to the digital business model. And here it's giving us the opportunity to significantly enhance productivity, speed, efficiency. So in the traditional business model, let's start by comparing them. You have on the left the traditional model that relies heavily on manual processes and knowledge workers. doing every task, making every decision. Versus on the right, you have the digital model, which leverages more technology, automation, and gives you the opportunity to really optimize your processes. So in the middle, you'll see the shift from human in the loop to human on the loop. Two really important concepts, terms you might have been hearing. And human on the loop involves humans actively participating in that process. They're making every decision. Versus human on the loop, the human is becoming elevated as processes are automated. They become overseers of that process, make sure the quality is there, minimize the bias. So both play crucial roles, and we look at this transition to drive the productivity. So key benefits, as you can see, from moving to a more digital business model, you can expect significant improvements, productivity, increased speed, lower cost, labor optimization. By automating a lot of these routine tasks and optimizing the workflows, the digital businesses are achieving much higher efficiency, faster turnaround time at a lower operational cost. One more exciting thing that emerges from this aspect of transformation is the opportunity to arbitrage, to tap into the global talent pool. By leveraging these digital tools and platforms, businesses can tap into that global talent pool and make sure they have the right skill at the right time, regardless of the geographical boundaries. So now that we know how the digital knowledge worker is driving this business transformation, digital transformation, let's dive a little bit more into it. What is a digital knowledge worker? Well, it's a combination of a knowledge worker and an intelligent application. So what is a knowledge worker? Well, a knowledge worker is a skilled human, someone that's studied a specialty, an apprenticeship, a degree, someone much like you and me. It's that human in the loop making that decision. For example, the clinician, the auditor, the repair scheduler, the field engineer, the fraud detector. So many different roles. And what is the intelligent app? Well, you can see here on the visual on the right, it's made up of three things. It's the data engineering, which brings together all of your enterprise data, providing you insights and visibility into that holistic digital thread. Then it's the application development side, the automation of the business process workflow. And third, it's the advanced analytics and AI, infusing insights into the real-time workflow. So the combination of these is a very powerful thing. And what emerges as the ideal workplace for these digital knowledge workers? Well, anywhere we have a high volume of decisions that need to be made. And maybe there's a lot of number crunching, a lot of data that we need to look at to make that decision optimally. So there could be cases, especially in highly regulated industries, where human error can be disastrous. So we need to minimize that as well through encoding the right rules and logic into that automated workflow, make sure it's happening in a streamlined and standardized fashion. So ideal workplaces for these digital knowledge workers are really anywhere you have those high volume of data, repetitive tasks, and big number crunching, where we want to minimize that human error and elevate them to the more strategic and creative roles. Now let's dive into how the digital knowledge worker delivers business value. And it's really in these three key areas around optimizing the process, optimizing the labor, and then giving us an opportunity to arbitrage. So many of you with business backgrounds especially are going to quickly catch on to this, but just to level set, we're going to quickly run through each of these now. So first, let's talk about optimizing the business process. As you go from the manual process to the digital process, you have an opportunity to lean those processes out, redesign them, streamline them, automate wherever possible. And by doing so, you're going to be able to achieve greater efficiency, reduced errors, improve that overall productivity, And this transformation is what's allowing businesses to focus on more strategic initiatives and not get bogged down by those manual tasks. So on the right, you can see an example of one before and after, but this client is not alone. Very often as we come in, we see in the top, as we map out the current state manual process, it can often be many teams doing similar activities in a slightly different ways. Businesses that grow through acquisitions might even be doing it in several different IT systems. So the inefficiency is high. So after, you can see below on the bottom an example of after we've come in where we've tried to lean out that process, add automation wherever possible in the white, infuse predictive insights and analytics in all the places in orange. And then in green, you can see where there needs to be a human oversight, a human intervention. You can facilitate those interactions, all the places in green. And very exciting potential to drive huge productivity, efficiency, and elevate that human to focus on the more strategic initiatives. Next, we're going to talk about how the digital knowledge worker is enabling you to optimize that labor workforce by enabling the perfect combination of that human and the machine, the knowledge worker and the intelligent app, by codifying this business logic into software in ways you can de-skill that role. This means that as turnover continues to be a challenge for enterprises, they can protect themselves by encoding a lot of the rules into the system so that it's easier to hire and train and scale their human operations. As we know, turnover continues to be a challenge for these enterprises. Third, we'll look at how the digital knowledge worker can further facilitate your labor cost optimization via enabling you to tap into that global talent pool. So here, by enabling these digital systems that are going to be accessible anywhere, the global talent pool becomes accessible, enabling the companies to maintain high quality standards while also reducing their labor cost expense. So this ensures that they can remain competitive, but also drive sustainable growth. So what does this mean for the future of the human-machine collaboration? We're seeing humans being elevated to this more creative and strategic role. The repetitive, quantitative, sometimes boring work can be delegated to the machine. So this is something to be embraced, and they are. So to summarize, by automating these tasks, by capturing the tribal knowledge in the systems, by implementing these user-friendly systems, the companies are better able to use their workforce, allowing the employees to focus on more higher value activities that are driving more growth and innovation. Now we'll explore some of the different costs associated with building a digital knowledge worker and how each area optimizing these areas will lead to significant savings for your business. So first, we'll discuss the process cost. Optimizing processes is all around redesigning, streamlining, automating the workflows. And this is going to reduce the cost of operations by eliminating those inefficiencies and making sure that every step in your process is adding value. So investing in this process optimization, the businesses can achieve higher productivity and lower operating costs. Next, we have the technology costs. By implementing advanced analytics and AI automation, it can initially seem expensive, but the long-term benefits are far outweighing the costs. The technologies can automate workflows, reduce the need for the manual intervention, improve accuracy. Additionally, investing in the software development and maintenance will also be required to ensure the systems maintain up to date and efficient. Finally, let's look at the people costs. Optimizing labor involves effective change management and training to ensure the workforce is skilled and adaptable. So by investing in recruiting and training, the businesses can reduce turnover and ensure the employees are well equipped to handle the new technologies and processes that are coming up so fast these days. Additionally, leveraging the arbitrage can help affect cost-effective labor solutions without compromising on quality by tapping into that global talent pool. So to summarize, focusing on the process, technology, and people costs, the digital knowledge worker is helping businesses achieve significant cost savings, improving efficiency. And here we can see 5 exciting examples of digital knowledge workers across multiple industries like healthcare, manufacturing, transportation, PBM. And what I love about this is you can see the creativity and the ingenuity, kind of the versatility and the flexibility of this framework as you see all types of different digital knowledge workers emerging as different roles embrace these decision support systems. So the digital nurse, the digital auditor, the digital repair scheduler, the digital field engineer, the digital fraud detector. So now we're gonna go into each of these and see how these humans, knowledge workers, are partnering with their digital knowledge workers. So this first use case, the digital NICU nurse, is a use case near and dear to my heart. It's been with a partner right here in Chicago, a leading children's hospital who we've had a very close R&D partnership with for several years. And one particular problem that we're tackling together is this one where the nurses in the NICU cannot monitor all of these babies 24/7, 365, because as we know, we talked about earlier, there is a labor shortage of skilled knowledge workers, including nurses, physicians. So these babies are not able to be monitored 24/7, 365 post-surgery for pain. And they have identified that untreated pain can lead to structural and functional brain damage. So they wanted a clinical decision support tool, a continuous monitoring solution to monitor and alert them when pain is detected. And that's exactly what we were able to do with them using a computer vision model. Very exciting, 97% accuracy on this one, reliable and precise, and providing the real-time clinical decision support to the nurses. So this is a case where pain assessment was actually conducted in a more standard fashion using the technology, as there's huge inter-rater reliability between the nurses due to years of experience, even due to how long they might have been on shift, right? So many things impacting that human judgment and that human expertise, but this can be done in a much more reliable and continuous fashion to help them provide that decision support, that second check to improve that patient outcome. So this one is a huge area of research that is budding, and the NSF has recently funded it to commercialize this product. So very exciting roadmap ahead to scale this to all of the hospitals in the nation. Next, we have the case of a digital auditor. So this is a use case that was done for a locomotive manufacturer and service provider around the process of service contract margin review, which resulted in an audit failure due to human error. So what we were able to do is come in and automate that end-to-end life cycle, that operational process, to encode the business rules and the logic, bring the data together in a standardized way without having to send it, through multiple Excels and multiple touch points. So really minimizing that human error. And we're proud to say we were able to help them get that audit compliance achieved, and then also elevate their team to focus more on reviewing the KPIs and metrics of that business versus the actual day-to-day motions of trying to prepare the reports. Now they can focus on the strategic decisions. Next is the use case of a digital repair scheduler for a leading railcar repair provider. This business had grown through acquisitions and had multiple scheduling teams operating in slightly different ways, all with their own IT systems to schedule maintenance. And as you can imagine, it was leading to huge inefficiencies and suboptimal operations. So what we were able to do here is actually bring the team together, consolidate, lean their process, standardize that workflow, and build it in a tool, and create an automated repair scheduling system infused with text analytics and other insights to do that real-time optimization and recommendation. So a really exciting one. The order comes in, there's customer complaint, text analytics to extract the scope of work, and then an automatic checks to say, hey, now what's the best shop based on the availability, the capacity, the capability to send that to. So fantastic real-time optimization use case there that's resulting in tens of millions of dollars a year in benefit due to the optimization of the operations and minimizing their downtime, maximizing the shop utilization and throughput. So fantastic outcomes that they have been able to see with this human-machine collaboration. Next, we have the use case of the digital field engineer. This one is for an exciting use case in the industrial manufacturing side, where previously they had an engineering team that was manually going and doing inspections. The challenge was the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, was charging them for gas leaks from the date of the last manual inspection, and it could have been at times weeks or months prior, and this was leading to millions of dollars of fines. So what we did with them is created an industrial asset monitoring solution by putting in sensors all over their factory to detect these failures, including gas leaks, as well as other key assets of their industrial brilliant factory of the future, and alert the engineering team to take proactive measures to move to a more exception-based management. So this was a huge win. Not only were they able to internally avoid millions of dollars of EPA fines by now, predicting the leaks and being able to stop them, or in some cases just having the exact timestamp of when the leak started, but hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue growth because they then also licensed this industrial monitoring solution as a SaaS to their end customers. So this is a fantastic use case of an enterprise who not only created a digital capability for their internal operations, but then they were able to monetize that. They were able to create a new digital business model and actually monetize that capability. So just fantastic example. And now we'll look at our last use case, which is the digital fraud detector for a leading PBM, pharmacy benefits manager, who was struggling with a time-consuming manual process trying to detect fraud, waste, and abuse during the opioid epidemic. And they were only catching the known fraud using rules, and basically this was producing a lot of false positives. So what we were able to do here is build a fully automated fraud, waste, and abuse detection solution, an ensemble of AI anomaly detection models to identify this fraud accurately. Overall, we were able to automate that process, and it resulted in an 80% reduction of the false positives. And previously, as we know, they were using rules to only catch known fraud. Here we were able to enhance the capability and detect previously unknown fraud methods. As we know, fraudsters are always getting smarter, coming up with new ways to trick the system. So here you need to really get ahead of it and have machine learning models that will be sensitive as soon as something starts to change in the data. So now that we've gone through the success stories, I hope they've put some ideas and inspiration in your mind for where you can see different business processes that are ripe for digital knowledge workers in your business, places of complex business processes, high data volumes. Maybe you're throwing people at the problem, but it's not driving the efficiency, anything time-consuming, error-prone that you want to automate. These are all great opportunities for a digital knowledge worker. So feel free to reach out to me. Let me know your ideas. I would love to brainstorm with you. And as always, Kavi Global is happy to partner with you to accelerate your design and build of digital knowledge workers. And just to recap, we are Kavi Global, a leading data analytics and AI firm delivering services, software, and solutions, and we're passionate about growing our clients' digital assets. Our especially using our latest concept, the digital knowledge worker platform and framework. And this is the fastest growing line of business. So I think we've seen the adoption so high because of the true value that it's bringing and the way that it's shaping the future of each of these industries. So really exciting. And there's 200 plus engineers in US and India working on accelerating and bringing all of these to life. So thanks to them for bringing all those exciting success stories to life. And please feel free to reach out to me. Here is my personal email, and you can learn more about it on our website, www.kaviglobal.com. Feel free to follow me on LinkedIn, where I post the latest on data analytics and AI news. Thank you all for joining the live webinar recording that we will also post on YouTube. And thank you guys so much.